Hey yo, what it do? Welcome back to another episode of Elevation Talks. Hey yo, listen, we appreciate y'all tuning in all around the world. Hey yo, I don't know if y'all know, but your girl is officially 35. You hear me? And listen, I keep saying it like something is supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool, we 35, right? We here, right? And I knew I wanted to do like a birthday episode, but I didn't want to come on here like talking about like 35 lessons that I've learned in 35 years. Like, nah. Cause first of all, if I'm gonna be 100, I don't even know if I got 35 lessons ready. And shoot, some of these lessons I'm still in class on, so I'm gonna have to get back to you. Yeah, man. I'm like, God don't allow me to talk about nothing I ain't walked through and wrapping up walking through. You know what I'm saying? But what I did want to do is come and just have a real conversation, because birthdays can really bring up some stuff. You hear me? And maybe this isn't your birthday season, right? Maybe you're just in one of those moments where you've looked at your life and thought, man, I really thought I'd be further by now. I know that feeling. So today, I'm not talking at you. You feel me? I'm sitting in this conversation with you because even I have some unfinished dreams, unanswered prayers, and some things I thought would have happened by now, they ain't happened yet. You feel me? So let's get into it.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, yeah, run it, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year.
So I never specifically sat down and thought about what 35 would look like for me, right? But I definitely had expectations for my life. Yeah, if I'm honest, your girl was supposed to be a millionaire by 25. Yeah, I said it 25, right? And clearly, we had to extend that deadline. But nah, I was serious, you know what I'm saying? I was in the music industry, right? I thought my music was going to be my ticket. I thought that was going to be the thing that took me to the next level. And somewhere in my mind, I assumed that by this stage of life, I'd be married. I'd be more successful. I'd have more relationships with certain people of status. Like, I'd be a major television and film producer, not trying to get shows made. Nah, I'm talking about your girl thought we were going to have several shows picked up by networks by now, right? Come on, y'all. I'm putting y'all in my business. I thought I'd have the mansion, the fleet of cars, the money, the success, the marriage, the influence, all of it. You hear me? And I wasn't thinking small, right? And honestly, I still don't. Like, if you know me, I dream big. You hear me? But some of those things I still want. But life didn't follow the script exactly the way I wrote it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe yours didn't either. That's what I've been thinking about. Sometimes we're not necessarily unhappy with our lives. We're just disappointed because our lives don't match the picture we had of them. That's different because you can have a good life, right? And still be disappointed that that isn't the life you imagine. You can be grateful and still say, I thought I'd have more by now. And that take me to the first point I want to give y'all. Who gave us these deadlines? Like, the first thing I've had to sit with is, who told me I was going to be a millionaire by 25? Me? God didn't tell me that. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like a prophecy. Nobody handed me paperwork and all of that. Like, I really decided, like, yeah, 25, I'm going to be a millionaire. Like, okay, bet. Right? And somehow an expectation became a deadline. And then that deadline became a measurement. And it was the measurement then became, if I haven't done this by then, I'm behind. We do this. And maybe yours wasn't millionaire by 25, right? Maybe yours was married by 30, kids by 32, house by 35, six figures by 30, debt free by 40, like whatever your thing is, right? And maybe you told yourself, by my next birthday, I'm going to finally leave this job. By my next birthday, I'm going to lose this weight. By my next birthday, my business is going to be popping. You hear me? And then here comes the birthday. Same job, business still building, goals still just sitting there. And suddenly, we aren't celebrating another year of life, right? We're evaluating ourselves against a deadline. But I've had to ask myself something. Was the goal wrong? Or did I turn the goal into a judgment of myself? Because those aren't the same thing. Goals are good, right? Y'all know I believe in goals wholeheartedly. But a goal is supposed to give us direction, not so it's not supposed to determine our worth, right? And here's what really got me. The younger version of me who created those expectations didn't actually have all the information, right? She didn't know which doors was going to close. She didn't know which dreams would evolve. She didn't know which relationships would end. She didn't know what she would have to recover from, right? She didn't know about the detours, the disappointments. She didn't know how much she would have to change. She made the plans with the information that she had, right? And maybe I don't need to punish the woman I am today because life gave me information the younger version of me didn't have. Maybe you don't either. My second point is sometimes we need to admit that we're disappointed. Now, I'm about to talk to my cousins real quick. My people of faith, come here. Yeah, come here. Amen. Come on. Sometimes we don't know how to let ourselves be disappointed. Yeah. Y'all, come on. Like, y'all know we say things like God's timing, right? Everything happens for a reason. God has a plan. You know, what's for you is for you. And listen, y'all know I believe that wholeheartedly, 1000%, right? But if I could be 100, sometimes I'm still like, okay, God, but I wanted that. Have y'all ever wanted something and it was just like, nope, or not yet? Like, I thought I had that by now. You know what I'm saying? I thought you were gonna answer that differently. I thought that relationship was gonna work. I thought this opportunity was finally the one. I thought the business would have grown faster, y'all. I thought I'd be married. I thought I'd have children. I thought I would be feeling way more established, right? I thought this season would have been over by now. And guess what? It isn't. And sometimes, if we honest with ourselves, that hurts. We don't have to rush past that because I've learned something this year that I keep coming back to, and that's gratitude and frustration can coexist. Gratitude and frustration can coexist. I can love God and have questions. I can trust God and be disappointed. I can appreciate my life and desire something different. I can say, God, thank you for what you're doing. And 5 minutes later say, okay, but I still don't understand this. Y'all, that's real. And honestly, I think pretending we're not disappointed can keep us stuck longer than admitting it. Like, man, I really wanted that, right? And maybe that's part of what birthdays bring up. We're not only grieving another year, right? Sometimes we're grieving the version of our life we thought we would be living by this year. And we can acknowledge that. But this is where I've had to be careful, right? I can grieve the life I imagined without disrespecting the life I actually have. Hold on, let me say that again. I can grieve the life I imagined without disrespecting the life I actually have. Because when disappointment gets loud, it can make everything good in our lives get real quiet. Here's my third point to this. I had to count again. Ooh wee. This might be the biggest shift for me, right? Because if I only counted the things younger me thought mattered, then yeah, I'm missing some stuff, right? Millionaire by 30, millionaire by 25. Nope. Mansion, not yet. Fleet of dream cars, not yet. Multiple television shows running on networks, not yet. Marriage, not yet. And so if that's the scoreboard, right? I could be looking at 35 and be thinking, girl, what you been doing? Right? But then, yes, sir, I had to count again because maybe some of us aren't failing. Maybe we're not counting everything. One of the biggest things that happened to me this past year wasn't some huge career announcement, it was community. Yeah, I started meeting weekly with my mentor and a entrepreneur circle I was a part of. And man, I didn't realize how much I needed that. Like y'all, I've talked about this before about being what I call like a first generation blueprint, right? Trying to create something that you haven't necessarily seen modeled around you, building while you learning, figuring things out all while people just looking at you like you got all the answers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And to be honest, like it can get lonely. You know what I'm saying? People can love you, support you, believe in you, and still not understand the weight of what you're building. And so for me, I got around people who understood, right? People who understood entrepreneurship, people who understood the hurdles, people who understood what it feels like to carry a vision. And for the first time in a long time, y'all, I felt like I could exhale. What? Listen, the younger me probably hadn't counted that as success, right? There's no trophy for finding your people. Yeah, there's no big announcement, no check attached, none of that. But it changed my life. So, guess what I had to do? I had to count it again. And then there's writing, right? There's this podcast. A few months ago, God started pressing on me to write more, right? Drop an episode every week. And naturally, I thought I knew what he was doing. I'm like, okay, God, we developing our skills, consistency, sharpening my voice, getting better on the mic. Cool. I see the strategy. You feel me? I see the play. But I didn't see the strategy. Because yes, I was developing my gift, right? But somewhere between writing and talking and sitting behind this microphone every week, ooh, I started getting free. I would write about something and realized I'm processing. Yeah, I'd say something on this microphone to y'all, right? And then I hear it myself. And I'd be like, wait a minute. Yo, wait a minute. I needed that too. Yeah. And that's when I realized I thought God was just developing my gift, right? But what he was doing was he was using my gift to restore me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was using my gift to restore me. Woo, thank you, Lord. This is so good. Yeah. I thought God was developing my gift, but he was using my gift to restore me. Yes, sir. That's different. So, because I started seeing his fingerprints in places I didn't recognize them before, right? I could look backwards at the different seasons where I thought he wasn't doing anything and go, oh, you were there. Like, oh, you would, oh, wow. Like, basically, like just recognizing you've been here the whole time. And this is what I've actually been realizing. Some of the most important things God has done in my life does not look like progress at all. Yeah, like some of the most, I'm telling y'all, listen to what I'm saying. Run it back. Some of the most important things God has done in my life did not look like progress at all. Restoration doesn't always photograph well, right? Like peace doesn't come in with an announcement. Healing doesn't always come in with a promotion. Community doesn't always come with a check. Learning yourself does not come with a trophy. Becoming more secure doesn't show up on your resume. But that doesn't mean nothing is happening. So before I say I didn't do enough this year, I had to count it again. Before I say I'm behind, I have to count it again. Before I say nothing changed, I have to count again. Here's my next point. This is probably my last point. Now look, I ain't gonna hold y'all. The next point that I want to give y'all is that this is a snapshot, not the whole story. And this is probably where birthdays can really mess with our minds, right? We take where we are right now and turn it into a prediction about where we'll always be. I'm 35 and I'm still single. So maybe love isn't going to happen, right? I'm 40 and I'm starting over. So maybe I've wasted too much time. I'm 30 and my career isn't established. So maybe I'm behind. But how do we get that from that? Like, this hasn't happened yet to this will never happen. Like, how do we get there? Those are two completely different statements. And I know why we do it. When you've been waiting for a long time, yes, sir, not yet starts feeling like never. Like, come on, let's sit in that for real. When you've been waiting a long time, not yet starts feeling like never. But feelings aren't always forecasts. Where we are right now is a snapshot, it's information, it's a chapter, right? It is not enough information to tell us, though, how the whole story ends. And this is where my relationship with God has changed me, right? Not because I suddenly know what's going to happen. I don't. You feel me? I still got questions. I still have things I'm waiting on, right? But I've lived long enough to know I've been wrong about endings before. I've looked at a situation and thought, this is terrible, right? Then years later, I'm like, oh, I've looked at that closed door and thought, this makes no sense, right? And then later on, I'm like, oh, you had that aha moment. You had that light bulb moment, right? Like, I've looked at a delay and thought God wasn't doing anything, y'all. And then later, I saw fingerprints. So I'm slower now to call something meaningless just because I can't make sense of it yet, right? And sometimes we need distance before we get perspective. And maybe that's why 35 feels different. Because my life is not perfect at all, right? I'm not sitting here with everything younger me wanted, you know. There are still some things I want bad, you hear me? There are still some dreams I'm believing for, you know. There are still some prayers where I'm like, God, whenever you ready, sir, whenever you ready. But honestly, like surprisingly, yo, I'm content. And for somebody like myself, y'all, that is growth. Because if I'm honest, I've always been okay. So what's next? Okay, so what's next? You know what we accomplishing next? Like what's the next thing? Get the opportunity. Okay, what's next? We building something. Okay, what's next? And I'm realizing how dangerous that had became. Like that can become, y'all. Like because eventually, like what's next started to like it can rob you of what's now. Yeah, like what's next can rob us of what's now. And for a long time, y'all, I struggled with that. And and I'm still in the process of it. I'm not going to say that I don't do that anymore, but I don't want to spend my entire life trying to get somewhere only to realize I never allowed myself to actually be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like I still want more, a lot more, right? But I'm learning that wanting more doesn't require me to hate where I am. Like I want more and I appreciate here, right? I can dream about tomorrow and still live today. I could be hungry and content. You feel me? Like I could be grateful and frustrated. I can be unfinished and still worthy of celebration. So, if your birthday is coming up and you've been feeling that heaviness, I'm not going to tell you to cheer up. I'm not going to tell you just be grateful. And I'm definitely not going to act like one podcast episode is supposed to make every disappointment disappear. Nah, I'm not even going to play with you like that. I'm just sitting here at 35 with some unfinished dreams too. And maybe we could do something together. We can count again. Yeah, before we decide that this year was wasted, let's count again. Not just the money, not just the relationship, not just the career, the accomplishments. Like, what changed in us? What did we survive? What did we learn? Who showed up? Who left? You know? What did we finally stop tolerating? Where did we find peace? Where did we find ourselves? What did we finally admit? What did we start? What did we release? Like where did God show up in a way we didn't recognize at first? I mean, shoot, what did we learn that don't even fit on the resume? Like maybe we didn't do everything we said we were going to do, right? Maybe more happened than we thought. So, yeah, I'm 35, and my life doesn't look like the picture younger me had in my head. Some of that picture I still want, right? Some of it has changed. Some of it I don't even know anymore. And for once, though, I don't feel like I need to have the whole thing figured out. Because my birthday doesn't have to be a progress report. Maybe it could just be a pause. A pause to look back. a pause to look around, be honest about what hurts. You know what I'm saying? Celebrate what happened, recognize what changed in us. Like, take a pause and notice God. I mean, yeah, like take a pause and just count it again. And I mean, maybe you thought you have more by now, right? You know, yeah, I know it's me too. Maybe you thought you'd be more by now. I've had those thoughts too. I've had those moments too, you know. Maybe you're afraid you're running out of time. And I understand that, right? But here's what I'm reminding myself at 35. This is a snapshot, not the whole story. This is a chapter, not the whole book. And just because some things haven't happened yet, that doesn't mean that nothing is happening. Some of the most important things God has done in my life did not look like progress at all. And maybe, I don't know, you know, I don't know. Maybe there's some things happening in your life right now that you don't know how to count until later, right? So I'm not just celebrating 35 because I got every box checked off. I don't. I'm celebrating because I still get to see what happens next. I still get to see what happens. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm excited about that, you know, because it's some things that's been happening unexpectedly. And I'm just like, what? So, yeah, man, I'm excited. Like, I get to see what happens next, you know? Like, so, yeah, happy birthday to me. You know what I'm saying? And whenever your birthday come around, and you know, you got that little heaviness start to creep in before you call yourself behind, or before you feel like you didn't wasted a year, before you decide that you haven't done enough, I want you to remember to count again. You might be surprised by how much life actually has happened. We got to start doing more living, man, you know? More becoming, more laughing, more loving, more trying, more learning. You know what I'm saying? And for me, a whole lot more of God's fingerprints to discover along the way. You feel me? Because we ain't done yet. All right, y'all. I appreciate everybody tuning in around the world, man. Hey, thank you to everybody that made my birthday special. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for the phone calls, the love, the deliveries, the notes, I mean, just everybody. You know what I'm saying? The dinners, like everything. Like, yeah, man, we gonna keep running it up. It's still Leo season, so we ain't done yet. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next episode, man. Peace.